KC, there's something about this roster that makes me nervous.
Yeah, I'd say first off, the fact that we're starting off on this map,
right.
It's like you're going to their home turf. You're trying to beat them on their front doorstep. And well, KC don't look like they're shying away, already going aggro.
We'll see what happens with it. Again, it's kind of, you know, testing the waters, getting the lay of the land here. Slow and steady to start with, cool the nerves, calm themselves down a touch. Again, it's very easy to fall foul to Fnatic's greatness, right? That idea of what you're playing against, but this walk towards Alpha proves pertinent. Fantastic start for Shin there. Can they make the most of the rest of this, though? Keep your eyes on that spike.
Fnatic don't realize right now the C site is completely under their control, but maybe wanting an advantage back, they're going to fight everyone. Yeah,
this is just going to be a brawl, right? Leo's here, though. Everyone's ready. That was a fantastic bit of utility work, though, to stem the bleed, to slow down this KC crunch. You can see them starting to drift back a little bit here. Tomasi watching that cross. Does he catch a glimpse? Oh, it's more than a glimpse for Shin. Another body added to the count, but still. Boaster puts the bow on it, and it should be fine in the end, joined by Chronicle there. This is Fnatic dealing with a very unorthodox start.
Yeah, I think Fnatic, that's the thing about their attack sides, though. They've always been fantastic at quelling a storm. Like, the amount of successful sort of retakes of control, like, they are very happy to give up rubble, and then they'll take it back with utility. Like, they are very good at the push and pull of this map. I think that's why they are the best in the world at it. So for KC, they had success in the initial aggression, but then they lose it. And that's going to be the difficult thing for this game, is knowing when to fall back, knowing when to retreat, and in this case, I think just knowing when to play retake and allow Fnatic that control.
Yeah, it is going to be that test of time as well, because we know that... That's not on me. All right, that's not on me. Leave that one to Stevie. Alrighty, we're back underway. Round two. It took a little second to get there, but we're on it. If you missed the start, Fnatic handled KC's rather unbridled aggression quite well. We come back in now. Round two, of course, Fnatic on that attacking side. KC gonna have to try and put up a defense with really a classic and ghost combination.
Yeah, all this can be as a gamble. They don't even have much utility to play with, no paranoia. Okay, there's a snake bite for Tomasi if they really are in the right place at the right time, but this is all just going to be, for Fnatic, about damage control. Especially with the fact that they have 4 rifles, you don't really want to be losing anything. A lot of teams, as we mentioned, will go for the 3, keep 2 pistols, so they at least have a bit of wiggle room. And actually, they've already given one of those rifles back over to Durka. I guess not finding anything early, he's going to be sent in.
But I'm kind of impressed that Magnum's 3 shots with the classic were enough that they've now gone, let's go to the other side. Now, fortunately for KC, they haven't really dismantled this either, right? They've stuck around. They didn't bite the bait that was put towards C. Now hearing all these shots, though, it's gonna solidify these positions.
30 seconds left.
Can they do much damage, though? They can get a rifle away, not bad. But Fnatic quite clinical normally on approach, not going to be making too much of a mess. Let's see if KC can make any naughtiness happen. That paint shell could be a problem. They made it away, but all that information is there. Tomasi going to find one. Let's see if any more mayhem can be made.
I think even just a single kill here do so much, and Tomasi's found another. They're making it costly. Luckily, Durka's there, but Narate's found another somehow, and a gun.
He's got a bit of time to play with. Not many bullets this time around, though, and it is the deadly duo themselves, Leo and Durka. Not who you'd want to be facing in this. Normally ice cold, yeah. Pain shell. Gonna ward him off that. Has to respect it. 4 bullets down to 1. And time is his biggest enemy currently. Yeah, done for. Fnatic, steady the ship, but it got a little dangerous there.
Yeah, that wasn't even a round where you saved a couple either. That was 1 Marshal and 4 rifles. So that's really costly for them. We're now going to see whether or not they just purchase into it, which they may do because it's Fnatic. They might be feeling a bit cocky coming up against an underdog team, but not a bad round whatsoever. Earning up to some of those ultimates for maybe a round or so time. And on the side of Fnatic, okay, Durka's getting kind of close, but they haven't really farmed up many orbs at all.
No, it's not been all the ticks in the boxes for Fnatic. They'll be happy enough. You've got 2 rounds. You're not going to sit there and be upset by any means. But if you're talking about the flawless game, it's not been that just yet. KC probably quite happy about that last round, but this is the one that means it, right? That is Durka now pushed back down quite some way. 9 HP walking away from that.
See, I love this spot not only for the spams, but if you have the snake bites available, you can place them at the door, and if anybody runs through there, they're getting absolutely shredded. It really isolates the angles that can be taken. Also quite an early rotation. 4 players on this side of the map already.
And it's a lot of faith in Shin, though, because he's on his own. He was
Never mind.
isolated and further ahead. That's a really dangerous position to be in, maybe feeling he was up to the task, but I mean, yes, Fnatic have taken bits of damage, but they have a completely free site, and they are drifting that way again.
Yeah, I almost wonder if at this point, it seems early in the round, but if KC will just have to decide, okay, we didn't get a kill, we didn't find any damage. If they go towards the C site, we save. And the funny thing is, it's unconfirmed damage.
Exactly
They've done so much, like probably about 200, 250 damage across the board, but it's irrelevant because they don't know yet.
Exactly. And Fnatic going to be cautious, obviously, considering they do have the walking wounded on their side, but
left.
should be able to make that C site there pretty comfortably, but still going to go through the execution, taking no corner unchecked. And I want to see how far KC commit to this. I doubt they're going to push too far now. I doubt. Aren't going to come in. They'll need a quick kill if they do fancy trying to get anywhere near close. So they're trying to at least pressure a little bit here, and it does look like a bit of a goer, yeah, but look at that one-way. That's horrific. There's no getting past Boaster there. You have to bide the time or do that, apparently. Narrate, hold on. KC finding 2 quick kills. That opens up a chance, but now, dealing with the plant and dealing with the players are 2 different things. Chronicle's still alive, but the only one still alive! He's fallen! KC! Run back that site. Well, I didn't think they were even going to go for it.
No, absolutely no shot at that point of the round. Because, as I said, like we look at it from our perspective. You see those players low HP, and you go, okay, well maybe they give it a go. But at the same time, all of that was wall bangs. They
had no idea on Durka, right? They had no idea on half of these kills. Maybe they got a little bit from, I think it was maybe Alpha's fight up against Shin, but barely. Yeah, barely. That's
I
still
don't
a gamble.
think Alpha would have given him much.
No.
Probably popped his head within a second. So. Yeah, a bit of a gamble, a bit of a risk, but also just that sheer KC confidence. I think that's been one of the hugest factors of them being successful is when they take a risk, they all commit to it.
Oh yeah, they fight as one. It's quite impressive to watch, and it's shattered a little bit of the money here for Fnatic. So let's see if now KC can build, right? It's first step done. Can they continue this trajectory though? Already getting confident enough to take the challenge over by Rubble. Boaster. He's only got a classic, but maybe going to get the chance to use it. Not what he wanted there, no. KC holding the line very diligently. That is lovely for them. A clean round is exactly what the doctor would have ordered.
Yeah, just demolishing them on the entry. You could even see Durka investing into an Outlaw as well. An attempt to try and do some damage will leave him a little bit low on economy, and it will be retrieved by Alpha. But these spams coming through have just caused havoc. Like we talk about Fnatic and their Odin play. They love to throw, or have loved to throw that weapon in the past.
Yeah.
Tomazi doesn't care. He just doesn't care.
I mean, they are non-believers, right? If you want to look at it that way. If they keep this confidence up, if they can keep this round clean, you know, don't allow Alpha any wiggle room, don't let him get a little bit naughty, do some damage. If they can keep this up, there is a window. It's a very small window of chance. And that's when the question of, and again, this is very early for me to discuss this, so Fnatic fans, relax, don't worry. It is just, you know, the kind of discussion point of, we don't know how well they test under pressure yet, because they haven't been pressured. There has been no test sample, really. Yeah, their game that they played, the one game they pretty much played up against Vitality wasn't the cleanest, but it was fine. Job done, you're not too fussed. This is a different ordeal altogether. This is Madrid on the line. This is a big, big deal. So we'll see how it fares for them.
Talk about the goals of Fnatic. Like we've heard it from the horse's mouth after the Andalucia Flawless. They literally said they want to win all the trophies this year. Like that is the goal. The goal isn't just, oh, we want to try and get one, we want to try and get two. You've taken a roster from last year, kept it exactly the same, a star-studded team that was built in the past.
Yeah.
Everybody else has made some sort of change. And now you're coming back in with the same. You've had plenty of time to prepare. New coach, kept your old coach's assistant, so he's still pitching in ideas. So there aren't really any excuses for Fnatic coming into this tournament other than, oh, they're a little bit rusty.
Yeah, and that doesn't cut it at this point. Let's see. Again, it's just that spam allows so much more freedom over by Rubble, right? They can take so much of that space away. But the pendulum swing then puts a lot of pressure on the rest of the map, right? That's just how it goes. That's just Valorant 101. But Magnum does need to be very careful to not overextend. He's going to feel that first bit of pressure, right? That's a very deep, committed bit of utility. Does he call for rotations? Yes. Already Narrate's on the way. Narrate's got his ult here, so this could be a nice way to slow the roll. If they're feeling that pressure, they know Durka's ult is there, and they're going to be already hitting that site.
Yeah, I think the thing for KC, though, is they've been very, very happy to play retake. We saw it already in a 4v5, and with Nightfall online, I don't blame them for it.
Yep.
A single kill for Tamazi will get the Viper's Pit online as well, which could be used to section off their C site, and they do very well to sort of get that chip damage in early.
Ooh, Durka.
Chronicle already low.
Yeah, but look at Durka trying to just battle for this space. If Narrate goes down here, that is an issue. Oh my god, he's just run him down! That's ridiculous from Narrate. Sheer disrespect. Pops the ult off the back. It's game on, it's go time. They are pressuring Fnatic here. They want in their faces. Deep smoke gonna come through. Force Fnatic to just stand back, stand further away. Clearing through the utility, clearing through the site. They don't know when that spike's being tapped. They've had to invest this utility early now.
Paranoia through, it's going to leave a couple close. Looking to try and do some damage on their way back in, but now that defusal finally begins.
The switch up of both of them being there is huge. A TP over! Martin is ridiculous! KC, they're the real deal. They are absolutely the real deal. That was unbelievable. Narrate, I don't know what that man is doing, but it's working real good. The fact that he just
He took zero damage, by the way. Like, 0 damage. He just walked straight through. I clearly felt confident in his own ability, and wow.
Nice, let's go.
I don't know how they get away with as much as they did, but Fnatic have got to be feeling the burn a little bit, because again, it wasn't like they invested nothing. That was a showstopper. They actually threw their own Nightfall in as well while that retake was going on, and they basically got nothing for it. Now they sit with Durka, okay, having a hero rifle to try and play with, but other than that, empty pockets.
Yeah, if there's anyone you want on that rifle, you know, Durka's a name up there for me. But still, this is...
Those Althea and Chronicle.
No. Leo, I put up there. Alpha's fantastic, but again, when I think of Durka, everyone does kind of talk about his capabilities, right? And you look at some of the other superstars out there, maybe his name doesn't shine as bright. He looks like a system player. Ooh, that's interesting. But the way he can create impactful kills is almost like no other, and I'll hear no bad words about Durka, but let's see if the proof's in the pudding here. KC already know, no one's gotten that close yet. Two of them nearby. Shin could potentially play in Martin again. Waiting for it, he's gonna hear all this. Boaster is in, he's very close by, and Martin sends him out of there. Evaporates Boaster, but again, the rifle still stays. Oh, look at this wrap though, the timing on this one.
They're completely trapped. They're boxed in.
They have nowhere to go. Tomasi could just mince them down, murder them here. This is rough, and there's the wrap. There's the flank. It's not pretty in the end. That's a rifle, but it doesn't matter. Across the line again, KC. They're turning up here. This is 4-2. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see an early timeout from Fnatic just to keep them in line. You do not want this roster getting nervous.
Yeah, I think more so on the KC side, you also don't want them building momentum.
True.
Like, you look at them versus Heretics, they got bodied. When they were shut down early, they were shut out of the game.
Yes.
When they were able to get things rolling like this, well, they beat like Giant, for example, 13-4 on this map. So you have to be careful not to allow these young players.
Top priority pick these days, it feels like, considering the impact you can have from the back of a coach. But speaking of coaching, this is time now to see Fnatic's changes. There was very few in the roster, there was none, but it was behind the scenes. This is the first time we're starting to see Fnatic again tested here. Maybe going to take some of that momentum away from KC. Well, I say that, you can already see what Martin's up to. He's off and about. And they haven't seen this look before, maybe feeling a little bit of something switching up here. But you think about the protocols that KC have already set. There's always going to be that aggression over towards Rob. They've been challenging that. There's the spam going to be coming out. They haven't seen this yet. So does this check?
This is the horn. They should clear this and the back box, so he has to be careful. Yep, he's going to get pinged immediately.
Paranoia. They're trying to keep him alive here. They're trying to play for him. Narrate's going to come out and actually brawl with him. He can't make it out of there, though. A nice attempt, but it is an opportunity. Martin down. That is a step in the right direction. Do Fnatic follow that, or do they adjust?
The thing is, with a lockdown and a Viper's Pit, they don't even really need to.
Yeah.
If they get towards either of these sites, they can take it and lock their opponents out. Tomazi's still a slightly more risky angle, because he can be insta-killed from that point, so he may just go back to the classic. And actually, Viper's Pit to just shut them out of tree. Interesting.
It's still got utility there, so that I don't mind it. It plays in Magnum's kit a little more.
30 seconds
And
left.
you can see them bolstering the numbers by B. This isn't a bad response yet. Narrate, can you slow it though? Durka good for one, but the trade's there for Magnum. He is on the site and he is ready for this one. Paranoia's not going to land, but there's the overwhelm. 2 swing on the corner, and they've done well here. Shin's position
player
could be
standing.
something, but now losing out to Tomasi, it
Spike
kind of removes
planted.
it from the equation. They will be considering this at some point now. So Fnatic answering back very nicely. I mean, off the back a little bit of that attempt of aggression, but I don't mind that KC tried it.
No, I think, again, if you look at the ultimates that were there for Fnatic,
Yeah.
if you allow them to get outside C, put a lockdown, and then Viper's Pit, like, you're
Side
really
says.
gambling on a fantastic post-plant for your team on the retake. So I don't mind the idea. Fnatic, though, are diligent. And that's
course they
always the thing with this team is even if you manage to take mound control or rubble control, they have the utility. That's why they play that fade, because Leo is so good at just having these little ratty angles
Yep.
where you're not going to spot that Haunt or that Prowler or whatever utility he throws.
No, he is exceptional in his work, and again, it's the thing about Leo is that it doesn't always transfer through to that scoreboard, right? He can be a scoreboard player. Don't get me wrong. Like
I've seen him 1v5 with the Sheriff. He definitely
literally.
can.
Yeah, absolutely can. But it's like some of that work behind the scenes that doesn't necessarily show constantly is what makes him that step apart. Now it's a little bit of a touching of base here almost for Casey. Brought back to heal. But if that start didn't go the way it did, who knows how that could have ended up going. But again, we're not going to see sloppy rounds from Fnatic, I think. I don't think we're going to see that. So again,
No.
that sort of cheeky play, I don't mind it, but you've got to be able to step beyond it. And I'm seeing a stack up from KC here.
Placing sentry.
In a spot where I still have plenty to play with. I think just clearly wanting to deny that C control, but again, it's that same Haunt. They're ready for it this time, though. That corner being cleared already for Boaster. And actually, they're just going to fall back. That's probably just off the amount of utility they've just seen sent their way.
Yeah, how quickly can KC mirror these steps almost? Trying to hit that rotate just right. Massey's got to be so careful to not get caught out here. If he can buy time, that would be ideal, but still, it's a lot to ask. Yeah, you can see the pressure. He's in a bit of trouble here. Players pouring through by trees. Lost that position, gonna have to play from the back of sight. He does have support and a nice little bit of stall. Gonna isolate Durka, but again, do you want a 1v1 against Durka? I don't know, but he's gonna take the site, clear it for the Fnatic side. The Spike's still not gonna follow just yet. There is still stall here.
Yeah, both teams with a lockdown could be one of the more interesting pieces, but with no plant, there hasn't really been anything just yet for KC to execute off.
No, they're gonna hear this go down. There's the first lockdown being considered by Magnum. Yeah, gonna go for the deeper side of it and counter lockdown. There it is. Durka, beautiful. That's what the position was there for, but he actually falls to Shin. By the time, they can't really deny this lockdown that's still ticking for Fnatic, but it looks like they're gonna try. Oh my god, wait, what? What is going on? They are so cocky and confident in this. That's 2 detained. This forces Boaster. He has to get involved in this one. Can he get there in time? I don't think he can do much about this one, really. Yeah, absolutely not. Fantastic attempt there, but not to be. KC playing the clock to perfection, willing to challenge, backing themselves in that fight. That was, again, another brilliant retake.
I feel like that's the sort of play that you make if you're the one with the advantage. Like, if you're the person coming into a match as the favorite, you go, they got locked down, I don't care. I'll push into it, I'll face them. The fact that they managed to take out both players and then Bosa's just like, yeah, 2 players are detained, what can he do?
What are you meant to do?
He just push versus the other 2 who aren't. Like, that's the risk that he had to take. So I love it from KC. Outside of the box plays that even the best in the world aren't ready for.
This might be a game to watch. 5-3. If you weren't paying attention before, you certainly will be now. Because the buy ain't pretty coming out from Fnatic here.
Yeah.
Well, their rifle on Alpha this time. Everyone else working with a lot less, but such unique beginnings from KC too.
They're barely ever playing C. If they are, it's just Magnum playing there alone, and he just backs off. His whole goal is just to try and delay them. They are so happy to play in the retake, and it does just seem like they're almost playing 2 attack sides. They just work well off of each other.
Yeah.
Narrate's going to have that early spot, but they already know because the utility's been destroyed on the way through.
Yeah. It is a long way to go, though, for Martin and Shin to try and get over here.
Bomb buddy out.
Not in a particular hurry, though.
Here.
So the spike's going to go down,
Spike planted.
and that ult is an issue. That is hard to clear. I'm kind of... This makes me a little nervous that KC are 1 so far away. This has to be near on pixel perfect.
Is Chronicle going to try and do it for the branding? He's only got a classic in this round. Like, it's just going to have to go for right clicks and almost play for the rest of his team. This is not a great buy from Fnatic, but with this pit, they actually have a chance.
Yeah, but here we go. This is game time. Dirk are going to be up and overing it, but it's Alpha with a rifle in the back. Going to take down Martina and remove a little bit of that frontline pressure. They've got to be able to clear this site, and Alpha still standing, gets found. Tomasi's going to drop him. Chronicle can only do so much, right? It's all on Chronicle. He can't do any more. I don't think there's any damage. They should be fine on this one. Yeah, Diffuse is going to be there. Again, KC setting a standard on these retakes that is exceptional.
Yet somehow Chronicle made that close just by surviving long enough. If he's alive a few seconds longer, I think they win that. But it is just the retakes. I love the way that, firstly, I think Narrate is one of the best at just no fear pushes into positions he should never be able to get to. And he's one of the first in, takes the opening kill onto Alpha, who's hiding around the corner on the box. That means no one saw him just full sprint in. And then he also, I think, gets the last kill onto Chronicle as well, who could have lost in the entire round.
I'm a little stun locked here, right? This is a little bit, you know, we talk about the what ifs, maybes. It's very rare you see it happening like this, and it's certainly not there yet. Martin, though, already, oh my god, they are scrambling to try and get away. Decent damage, but they all still stand.
Yeah, Shin's not giving it up, though.
He's sticking around. They want this side of the map as well.
Yeah, and Thomas is re-aggressing in the meantime. They are not giving up any space. They want to fight Fnatic before they get anywhere close to the afterplants. And that's interesting because they've had amazing retakes.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't seen this yet from Tomasi to be this far forward, right? This
with an Odin.
Yeah, I mean, it's just obscene, isn't it? Feels that may not be the right option. Going to drift back. He does have support here. They still have decent map control, even though they are a player down. AC still have all the information they need here.
So last time they managed to push him back before he was able to use his snake bites. It's one of the hardest things to push through is the snake bite over towards that tree position. If he gets this right, two of these players are so low. And he's going to get the timing spot on.
Yeah, he is. Trying to burst off the back of the Prowler. Everything else going to come in. Paranoia Sen. They've taken tree, yes, but again, look at the stall. Down to 25 seconds here. That spike is non-committal. It's sitting so deep. They're looking maybe for an adjust towards B, but there's two players waiting.
Again.
Yeah, this is absolutely on the money. Now, I don't know if they... Oh, Tomasi! This is unreal to watch. 10 seconds now. Spike still in hand. That has to go down here. 9 seconds. They're going to try and go for it. Leo just investing everything, pouring the util in, buying them some precious seconds in a 3v3. Now, look at the post plant here as well. Chronicle down a little low, and the timing on the back of Tomasi walking all the way around the world should be found out, should be handled.
Yeah, that's the
There
information.
This should be fine now. Chronicle gets the first narrate. What a time to step in, finding Chronicle, finding Leo, and another retake, another tick in the box. KC, this is, I've never seen a team so good at these sort of retakes.
Yeah, and it's also just that every read that they have on Fnatic is spot on.
Yeah.
Like, they denied their space over towards A. Okay, this was a little bit risky, but even still, it paid dividends in terms of damage. But then also just, okay, you've gone for this initial play towards A. We know that Boaster loves to have those leap back towards the B site, and they had two players waiting there, and they did enough damage that gives Tomasi space. That gives Narrate time to get into position. It's never easy for Fnatic because they can't get into post plants properly before their opponents are on them.
We're going to take a moment here just to remember Fnatic have 3 rounds. 3 rounds. This is also their map choice. Now, I don't think there is a bad map pool for Fnatic, so I'm not that fussed.
We've only seen this one and one other.
We don't really know. But they've broken the buy here. KC have such a firm grip on this game. Shin this time. Again, we know that they will rescind away from that C site if they feel too much pressure coming in. So don't stress it too much. But again, the fact they're winning out these retakes, yeah, you know, strategy and consideration, execute can get you the site, can get you the plant, but it's always the teamwork, the chemistry, the trading, the kind of play back through from a retake is normally the hardest part to work out. And it's blowing my mind we're seeing KC do this. So impressive. But on the other side, where do Fnatic look to try and find that little entry point anywhere? They're finding nothing.
Yeah, normally their attack is by far the better side. The only team to beat them on this map is Loud. No other team has ever been able to do it. And right now, KC are in the driver's seat on that defensive side as well.
They're predicting this B hit again, and it's right. KC have the correct read once again. Chronicle is here early though, and that's an issue until then. Magnum's got the trade out, so kind of quelling that threat. Do they quickly adjust? Dirk has got them some space, but still Magnum and Shin just fighting it out on the site. It's leaving it down to Alpha basically. Only with the Sheriff. Yes, Bulldog and Leo to try and do some damage to the back lines, but again, look at the numbers, look at the timing here. Plant gonna come down.
10
Shin
seconds left.
closing in here.
Spike planted.
It's a little ahead of expectation. Leo not gonna be checking that just yet, but the utility's on the site. Alpha. Gonna need something from this.
Killed my bot.
He's gonna hear them stepping closer, noting the utility now starting to dwindle down. He knows he's under the gun. A shot could be great here, and it's not gonna happen. Carmine Core, once again, stamping their authority on this matchup. Fnatic have no answers.
No, and you could see how confident they are in every single one of these fights. Magnum swinging back in, the blast backs from Martin into angles he knows there's players in. This is unrivaled confidence currently coming out from the KC side, and it's unusual that I've seen Fnatic ever shut down in this sort of way. 4 retakes in a row as well. They have been able to get the plant down, they've been able to get into post situations. Okay, that round was a weak buy, we can forgive them for that, but every other round hasn't.
Okay.
There.
Yeah, okay, we go again. You know, 8-4-9-3 feels very different. Let's take it a little easy here. KC out. Look at that. Wheeling, able. A little bit of a deeper commitment this time from Shin on the A side of the map and an adjustment on the other. Where does Fnatic decide to try and test this time?
But they have to be wary of everything. Because of the pushes that KC have been going for, it's even tentative on the other side from Alpha. You could just see him jiggling. Because there could be someone right next to him right now. He has no idea. They don't know if they're pushing up B. They've got the turret watching for that. And you can see Chronicle, he's setting up utility to try and clear rubble because they know they're going to have to fight for it.
And even with that kept in, Narrate is going to draw the attention. He knows they're around. And Shin's sitting safe still. They're drifting away. It's going to be Magnum.
Look at where this alarm bot is. It's outside of
deep.
C.
Yeah.
So then once they actually get anywhere near it, there's going to be a call almost immediately. There's a player there, and straight away, you see Martin on the map start to move back towards that C side.
Magnum
Grenade out.
buying some time as well. 30 seconds now. Fnatic aren't
30
being given
seconds
the
left.
luxury of timing on this one. Oh, come on! Magnum, that's gorgeous. Just takes away the tip of the spear. Dirk has been good, but not good enough to do much more, and now he can slip away. They've got the player advantage for the retake. Does Fnatic now try and fight deeper on this? That is the only option that they haven't explored, is try and get the plant, but look at the time again. 10 more seconds, they're looking for a fight towards CT. Magnum on the chopping block and he falls. It's Chronicle holding the line here. That's better. Fnatic backing themselves to take those deeper fights. But now we're down to Tomasi. Martin, Shin, not gonna happen that time for Martin. Put it in the hands of Shin and Tomasi, who are not finding the connections here. That's Fnatic finding a solution. It just took so long.
The crowd's definitely on their side, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They haven't had much to cheer about, as it's been the first 2 rounds, and other than that, it's just been blips on the radar. Everything else going in the way of KC, and you're right, the real thing there was just a bit of aggression out from Chronicle. He also uses the Viper's Pit to just lock out any sort of retake position, and that was something that I think for the most part, KC had got for free throughout the majority of the rounds. They were able to get close and then get into that brawly style. This time, Fnatic didn't allow it. It's safe to say, though, now going on to that defensive side, they kind of need a pistol.
Just a little bit. I'm seeing 2 sheriffs as it stands. I'm seeing Alpha and Chronicle both going for that. So wondering if they commit, and it looks like they are. So Fnatic, you're going to need this one.
CIS aim, you
Yeah,
know,
it's
why
fair.
not?
It's fair. You know what I mean? Like, back yourself sometimes. And I feel like I'm walking into the unknown looking at KC. You know what I mean? It's I don't know quite what to expect from these guys, and I think neither do Fnatic, but what a treat to watch. And stacked towards the B site here. It's with Alpha at the floor. Oh, it's Chronicle!
What?
How many collats are we seeing today? Is that the second we've seen?
Yeah, Zipan had one earlier.
Bloody hell. Okay. KC making a quick run towards C after going, I don't think B's for us, really.
Yeah. CIS aim beats Turkish aim. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, they're willing to just brawl on this one, aren't they? Chronicle.
Spike
Gonna have to respect it now. Tomasi Like a dog with a bone there. He was hunting that one down. He wasn't going to fall away from that.
Bring them down.
Can they isolate another? They're trying to. Boast has been noted. Let's see how far back he fell, but that paranoia is good. Tomasi has to respect it, gets chip damage on the way, but they're willing to stand, they're willing to fight, but they've got to be careful here. They're being wrapped on as well. You can see it already. Durka on the way, narrates. Good, but not good enough. First step in the second half here for Fnatic, but hey, they got the pistol on the first one too.
Yeah, no, it was the buy rounds where we saw the majority of the success and those retakes from KC. I will say, like, we have seen a lot more changes in this map. Like, obviously, the updates, I think, helped out at least a little bit with the defense in terms of being able to control a little bit of extra ground and having opportunities to get back into those sites if they were to lose them.
Yep.
And you can see already the way KC were playing that pistol. They're going to do similarly to what we saw from Fnatic, playing these sort of slow-paced, patient rotations, trying to almost double back at points if they can.
Okay, it's a long road back though. Fnatic gonna have to be taking those steps together. 5 rounds to the 8 of KC.
Where are you?
You can have that buy in the first place. Remember that damage though from that first time around. Not gonna be happening here. Fnatic just blitzing KC. Trying to re-establish some of that authority here. Remind them who they're playing against. And Shin, last one alive with limited options.
Yeah, I think we had a very quiet first half from Durka, and this might just be his announcement into the server.
Yeah.
I don't think he really has too many quiet games, and Andaluthia flawless as well for Fnatic is going to be a huge boost in terms of the economy. I've noticed as well, like, a lot of other teams are going to go in for those, like, Vandals, Phantoms. Fnatic actually leading quite heavily into the Bulldog in some of these bonus rounds, which is not something I thought I'd be saying. Like, I know that Mitch has been crying out for an Outlaw. It hasn't happened too much. It's happened here and there, but I didn't expect to be seeing a 4 Bulldog bonus round.
I mean...
Or wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it yet. Proof's in the pudding, eh? And it looks all in from Fnatic, though, down here as well. Got to be ready for this one. Shin trying to get in the challenge here. Durka is putting himself on the line, and it's working. Takes down Martin and tries to get away. Do they lose anyone? No. Barely damage done. Look how quickly they dismantle that.
It's going to give at least a little bit of space to play with, but you know that at this point, Fnatic are just going to be looking to try and play that retake, maybe do a little bit of extra damage. Look at Shin already down on just 26 HP, but there is no one to be found. And the fact is, KC want to try and find someone, want to try and even the scoreline before they get into this afterplant. And they're going to play it super aggressive.
Yeah, but this post plant's really uncomfy, though. Look at how little space they have. They've kind of just traded positions, right? Okay, well, KC, we're going to opt for a little bit of CT and site itself. We're not going to hold much beyond that. Tomasi's got to be careful. Find balance. Almost reminds you of that first half.
Again, he'll have the utility to delay them. That's the one major thing. It's going to be awkward, and the paranoia's missed.
Oh, but that's sharp from Tomasi with a follow-up as well. Alpha starting to warm up here as well, but time ticking. He's got to get a move on. Not going to happen. Boasting out. There's no access to this side. There's no really time to play with Narrate there. Just going to close it down. It is costly, but KC get there first in the second now.
Yeah, and then the fact is that was a 5v4 retake from Fnatic. I actually just think KC adapted quite well. Like, they had those aggressive positions. I think Tomasi, he just went back to, as you said, his defense position. I'm going to put a snake bite down, but I think Boaster had a paranoia, and it just, I don't know if it missed him or if that was from someone else, but it didn't connect at all. So when they go swinging, it's Tomasi in a 1v1, and you're kind of going to rate him to win that. He's been fantastic thus far.
Yeah.
And the rate now, well, you mentioned it. He was all right in the first half. That was a big 3K.
Yeah, it was. And this time they're putting a little bit more, I guess, attention towards trying to deal with Durka's aggression, right? We've seen him testing this
They're
now
doing
time
the
and
Fnatic
time again.
strat.
Yeah.
It's literally their strat to spam through that, and Durka gets caught by it.
Yeah. So he's going to be suffering now, down on 8, going to lose a lot of that confidence that he was coming into this round with. He's been giving them early chances as well. In these first couple of rounds, he has been pivotal in that. Now he has to sit back a little bit deeper, play off the back of potentially Boaster or someone else. Cautious and carefully, KC start going forward, and that might pick up the pace a little bit. Going to note the player on the site, but the store going to still be there, so they can't quite springboard forward. Got to be careful, because Chronicle could connect. Not to be just yet. Paranoia's in there. This should be the green light for the site. Does Fnatic try and get ahead of this? I doubt it. I say that. Creeping closer. No, they've respected enough of the plant, but let's see how that pressure looks when they try and come back through. Oh, I thought that spray was going to be on him then. Durka still going to do damage, even down low. Good work from Leo. Couple more steps to be taken, though. Martin and Tomasi still going to be here. This crossfire, can it hold? Boaster going to crack it open. Tomasi goes down. It's on Martin. Too many players. Too many bodies in his way. A valiant attempt, but Fnatic get the defuse.
Yeah, clearly KC feeling quite confident in their after plant scenarios, just getting themselves into that A site quite easily. But again, I feel like the main reason you see that sort of boombot go through early is just, okay, we want to clear below. That's one of the main danger positions.
Yeah.
And then from then onwards, you had the late rotation coming through from Alpha. Solid work from Leo as always. And we're starting to see, I think, just some of those Fnatic players actually come back into the game. Because that's the thing. You look at that first half, there were...
Best Fnatic, right? It is a very short list. KC add their name to it, or was it just a good half?
Yeah, this map in particular, it's been nigh on unstoppable, and it looks like they're just going to go all in on this A-side control. Doug, that's surprising considering what sort of round this is. You're going to know your opponent's economy is a little bit low. Maybe thought the Chronicle would be able to back him up, but what has gone from one Guardian now becomes a rifle for Tomasi as well.
That's pretty nice. I don't like the aggression in these rounds, if I'm honest. Again, the fact that it's not necessarily untradeable, but incredibly hard to trade, and then once that rifle's gone, it's gone. So it looks like Fnatic are going to try and get proactive elsewhere at the same time.
With Chronicle playing Tree, unless he killed him through a wall, it was untradeable. Yeah. Like you needed quite a lot to really get anything from that. So a bit of a gamble that hasn't really paid off, and has basically fast-track delivered a gun over to your opponents.
The Narrate is trying to sell him on this C take.
Bring them down.
Now Alpha will stick around and see that this is just Narrate here. It's only been that Fade utility, so he's not going to probably fall too much for this.
They're going the other way. Like you can see the rotation already coming through from Leo in the direction of his teammates. Yeah. So that fake didn't really sell anyone at all.
Okay, but hold on. Yeah, it tees up the trade though. They'll put their bodies on the line here. Oh, come on, Chronicle. Shin tries to make it away, and that's the rifle now still just in the hands of Tomasi here. He's got Magnum with him. Can they isolate him? Oh my good God, Chronicle has no idea how close he is and how close they are! He lost sight of it for a second, and now they've got to plant a 2v2. 10 seconds, a tap on the spike. They didn't even commit to this. They're trying to draw him out, draw him in. A Boaster, he's going to find Magnum. Oh, Tomasi, time, 3 seconds. Oh, Tomasi, that's obscene! He just toyed with Boaster and won! He's in his head rent-free after that.
I can't believe it.
That is filthy.
You've just taken one of the best IGLs we have, an 18-year-old kid, and he's just made him look a fool. There wasn't even enough time to plant. Boaster was going purely off the fact, okay, he has to stick this. It would be illogical to do anything else.
Oh, that is...
But that's what this team does. That's how they play with them.
Yeah, he knows what he's done. Look at him. Look at him. He knows it too. Oh man, that's a confidence boost as well, and that's a crushing round for Fnatic. That was one rifle being lost at a very bad time. Lovely work in unison for KC to isolate more fights there. They didn't fall for the fake, but they fell for everything else. This is double digits for KC now. Fnatic have that snowball round near on in hand. Yeah, their lockdown's not quite there, but still they have everything else. Purchase, not perfect either. Chronicle lacking. Durka, not ideal. So they're going to try and make it work with those ults to bolster what's lacking financially.
And in the first half, that didn't work. A lot of their ults didn't really have the impact that Fnatic desired them to have. Looking like KC might be on that all-in. Bear in mind, a Viper's Pit might be enough for them to secure it. The util's fantastic.
I mean, that's still exceptional. They're standing. How is Chronicle and Alpha alive? That is beautiful from them to stem the bleeding. Tomasi. Well, you ain't running away from that one. There's your answer, Fnatic. Having enough of the fun from KC. It's Magnum and Narrate. I mean, this would be a story and a half if Narrate can do this. You've been good. Let's see how good you are.
30 seconds left.
1v5. He's got the spike. 25 seconds.
Completely surrounded. They know exactly where he is. And
That's an
absolutely
answer.
flawless as well.
That's your answer. Whew. This is going to be a game, isn't it? That's a nice way to kind of correct some of the issues as well. Just an instant response.
Just watching Martin just fly through the air. I think it's worth mentioning as well, like, you have to bear in mind where some of these players come from. Tomasi, 20 and 11, was playing for Saw last year in the Portuguese league.
Yeah.
They managed to get to Ascension. They did all right. They did quite well for the team that they had. He's come in here. He switched roles from a duelist and is now top of the board on Viper.
On this, I was getting nervous when I'm seeing Durka get a little too close again. Or is it Boaster? Come on, boys. They've got classics and ghosts. Let's just chill a little bit. They don't need a rifle.
It's interesting that Martin has both the rifle and his ult.
Yeah.
You almost feel like it might be a better idea to give it to Narrate. Let him try and, if it gets to a point where that showstopper could work out.
Oh, that's a bit of magic from the man there, but that's a rifle. Now we've got two, Martin and Narrate. Martin's gone down, that's good from Leo there. You'll take it when you get it.
The Phantom Wallbang.
I know, it's just obscene, isn't it? No spike yet. Trying to go for that rifle. They're just, oh man, this guy's clean. Okay. Still no spike here. Keep it on. Ooh, Alpha, you're lucky. You're a lucky boy. They've got the spike and they're running. Okay. He's given them a little bit of safety at B, right? He's warded off Alpha. They don't quite know where Leo is to an extent.
30 seconds
and they've
left.
got to know where Boaster was. So they've put together a picture, but where do they go with this? They've got to get proactive, right? They've got to find one of these three players, otherwise they're screwed.
Well, the question is, does Fnatic throw in a lockdown as well? Because they have the util to force them off the site, but it would be such a costly round for them.
Oh my god. That's Shin. Oh! That's belting from Shin.
Target out.
This young gun, that's a lot to do, and two very unfavorable angles to work with. Not gonna happen against young man Alpha. Still got it, still clean with it. And the fuse gonna come in. Fnatic just creeping back into the game now. 9 to 10, very close by here.
Yeah, you can see though in every single round they're making them sweat.
Oh yeah.
Like even if Fnatic turn this around, I think you have to look at this from KC's perspective and go like, there were many rounds that they could have been able to steal away.
Yep.
Just off some individual brilliance, off of Fnatic maybe looking a bit shaky in some of these and taking big risks. Like Durka gets 2 kills there, but again, it's still a scenario where they give a rifle over to the opponents in an eco round.
Yeah, that was an eco round. That's the thing, is an eco round with a hero rifle left in it. Now, it's speaking of snowball rounds, right? Roll your minds back. Remember, we're talking about, look at what's coming online for Carmine Core here. Yes, missing the rates, but everything else is looking pretty good. Martin going to take the early space again. This is that traditional back and forth, right? We're going to see this so often. Now, we do have the lockdown for Alpha. Chronicle's got his, so some big ults still sitting in the pockets of Fnatic as well. Round changes.
They can gamble a bit more though, because Durka's got that operator over on the C site, so he can just play a passive angle, hold for the opener, and then that means that they can have 2, 3, maybe even more over on this A site. Uh-oh.
Stalled out here.
He got stuck on the door.
Yeah, not ideal. They do have the site control. Not perfect, but it's job done to an extent. It's still got them what they needed, and there's the follow-up ult as well. So this is ult to get on site, ult to secure plant. Can they then bolster around it? I'm seeing if Martin feels that timing. Does he feel the timing on this one? We're going to see the lockdown coming into boot. This is everything. The kitchen sink. Alpha has slipped down towards the side to pop one. Oh my god, he got caught. Shin's going to find Alpha. Magnum going to catch Chronicle, and now there's problems. Boaster can't get away with this. He's been caught.
Oh, the turret's going to get him!
Oh, okay. Tomasi gave him a way out, if anything. A mercy killing at this point. Durka and Leo, what are you going to do here? What can you do about this one? There's nothing to be done. That snowball round is deadly for a reason, and Leo gonna have to do the unthinkable. It's not gonna happen, KC. Invests a lot, but they get the round with 3 standing.
Yeah, and they reacted really well because Alpha goes into the site to put that lockdown in because it's the only thing that can force Tomasi out of the pit or pad the difference between that Spectre and anything else. And that will force them back into Boaster, who has an Odin. You're not going to be expecting that when the Viper's Pit is on the other side because it's normally Chronicle using that Odin to spam through the walls. The question is, if they try and pressure through this, they do have Nightfall. That's the one sort of counter that could cause issues for Chronicle, but again, it is Chronicle. He's still been having a great game.
Yeah, I rarely doubt Chronicle. There's a couple of players that you just think solid as a rock, and he is one of them. Absolute backbone of a team at times. And Casey didn't like what they saw there. Gonna pop a little bit of utility down from Magnum to keep check. At least he did for a second.
There.
And now they're exploring the other side of the map. Opting away from the Viper's Pit. Maybe looking to add a little pressure through B late, but we can see that Durka is keeping tabs on this too. KC not feeling too much resistance yet. They've gone pretty deep, so it does make you wonder what's going to be going on here. And that's what, Boaster, you got to do well here. This is a lot of pressure coming your way. Leo isn't quite connected until he dips back further. No, Tomasi outdoes him. And now that's that site open. Leo sat towards CT, can't do much to dissuade this now.
Yeah, the whole play was around Boaster getting something. They don't have any ults even remotely close to being online, and this retake, it doesn't look like a great spot, but at the same time, look how far down they are in the score. They kind of have to do something.
There we go. They're making a go of it. Martin could not care less. Gorgeous connection. I'm pulling the plug on this round. They're still testing the World Tier Chronicle. Alpha!
Oh,
this guy! An absolute animal! I just don't know what to make of some of these players. KC up to 12. And look, we said it at the start, any given Sunday, there's something in the air. You know, we've already had one upset today, right? You know, you could call the first game an upset. Maybe that 60-40%, maybe even 70-30 if you're going really far. But for KC to beat Fnatic here.
So they've gambled an ult. They spent everything they have, and it's an Andalusia flawless for them to get to 12. Like, this is not a team scraping by. I think that's been the most exciting thing. There you go.
This means the world to them. This is, you know, it's not the ticket yet to Madrid, but it's getting you, you know, you can see the plane, you can see Spain not that far away. You're getting close. He's doing it against Fnatic. The audacity almost to do it. And again, they test, they tempt, but it's Alpha. Is this where it stops? It's Chronicle by his side. Big boys there having none of what KC are trying to sell today. Down to Tomasi and Shin. This is a brutal round to try and convert Alpha.
Spike planted.
Connects in the end. Even just Shin. Not looking likely, but a great shot to start. And Boaster's there. Safe pair of hands in the end. Fnatic answer back. It's 10. Not going down without a fight here.
No, never. Like, that's the thing that KC have to realize is they can have a pause, they can give a moment to their coach to talk them through, come up with a plan, come up with an idea, but the second this comes close, the second there's an opportunity, that's when Fnatic strike. And for now, not going to do too much damage to the economy. Like, that's the main thing. The worry, though, is that KC are very far away from having the majority of ults. Okay, from the shadows, not a great deal. Showstopper a couple away. Everything else, probably not going to be coming up. And on the other side of things, Showstopper's close. Again, similarly, the ults aren't there. But that was where Fnatic were really thriving in a lot of these rounds.
Go again. I'm nervous. I'm watching this like I'm a viewer, but careful now. That spike's in hand, and look at Boaster's position. They haven't seen this yet, but Shin goes down near him without a fight. Leo isolates him, not letting that... They had no idea they crept up. Boaster hadn't called it back, so still, this is a messy round, and that's a problem. Tomasi keeps them with at least a touch of a player-to-player number that's in check. It's 3-3 on both sides. They've got the spike back. They've got a potential towards the A site. Leo, the backbone at times. The Iceman himself, pressured, always going to be good for one, but they needed a little more here. 2v2 here. Chronicle, still shoulder check. Tomasi creeping closer. Perfect work in unison from KC and Alpha. The Wonder Kid himself. And he keep Fnatic in this map. Or is truly the unthinkable happening here on map 1. 1v2. Time. The backing track to Alpha's chance. Spike ticking away. He slipped ahead of that. Not going to be revealed. You can see the util though. Does he get a touch on this? He does. With the swing, the look. He takes down one. He dips away. This could be a masterclass, and it's not from Alpha. It's KC going against the odds on map 1. Map choice. It's a rare accolade. It's a very short list that just had another name added to it. But can you do it again? Yeah. Back to back. Can you walk into a map like Split and push Fnatic aside?
Might be one of the greatest rebuilds in history.
Yeah.
From 10th place in the regular season to beating Fnatic to qualify to the first Masters. Who predicted that? Who isn't French?
I think Steel did. I genuinely think Steel actually predicted KC to do well.
He doesn't know anything about you.
No, that's true, that's true. That's true. And oh god, Alpha's dead. Alpha was dead 30 seconds ago, but he just didn't know it yet. Plant's gonna come in. KC. This looks like the pistol might be theirs. I mean, okay, Chronicle's got some kit left. Dirk's still got the paint shell. We've got a flash with Leo. Be fine, right? We don't have a late mid lurk coming out from Magnum that you got to worry about. He's buying loads of time as well. He's gonna hear all these steps. He's heard them. He's seen them, and that's another one gone. This is nerve-wracking. I'm getting nervous watching this.
There's so many low players though. That's the only thing in Fnatic's favor.
Yep.
I don't even know if they clear Martine though. Like at this point, who's still sat in that corner without swinging?
That's a Marlene position right there. Yeah, you don't clear that.
Why would you? Like literally, you're fighting his teammate on the corner for a good 5 seconds, and Martine's like, "Oh, you got this, bro. You don't need my help."
I'm nervous. In the best possible way, but I'm nervous.
But the thing that's interesting about this matchup is two different sides of the coin. Fnatic have come in with exactly the same composition they were running last year, and KC have come in something I expect Angel to come up with. Like it's just some, or maybe Team Liquid last year. Sorry, Sliggy. Or maybe the year before that.
No, blame
Sliggy comms.
Sliggy banned me from his chat.
I literally mean it is his comms. Double smokes. Like that's a Sliggy thing to do.
Well,
didn't work with Liquid though.
Wow. Neither did Sliggy.
He's in the next room.
He banned me from his chat. He deserves it. It's fine. Nasty boy. Let's see if they can keep it clean here. Fnatic going for, try and do what they can. They've got classics, right? So you're just playing as a pack.
Planted.
Trying to achieve anything possible. Not particularly easy. The Bulldogs are coming out. The Stingers are here. This is going to be, it's just free farm. If anything, you don't really want Tomasi's ult to be building up. You'd want someone else's, but you'll take what you can get at this point. You just want to kind of get the job done. He just wants it all himself, doesn't he? And he's going to get it near on all himself. Narrate and nab one away at the end, but still. Beautiful stuff here. KC off to the perfect beginning.
Yeah, and Andaluthia flawless. And the only thing I disagree with about his ult, you don't want that.
Yeah.
But just how confident this kid has been playing. Give him the frags. Let him do what he wants.
100%.
He was the best player. Again, I know that people have been watching, you might be overstaying. He was the best player in a server with Fnatic in the last map. On Lotus. Like, there's barely anyone who could sit there and go, even if you beat them somehow, you're not going, I was the best player in that game. Like, normally Alpha's there. Normally someone is there. But Tomasi bested them all.
Okay, let's focus in on KC here, because they've got a decent purchase in this one. I mean, Fnatic obviously going to be coming in with the first real touch of weaponry. And Chronicle, gotta be careful to not isolate. What is going on? Harry's going to be grinning from that one. That's a freebie. No trade, nothing.
Yeah, that's the thing with this composition. The double smokes just allow you to create chaos. And that is exactly what KC want. They want to face you up close. They want this Stinger to be able to bridge the gap. Boaster now under pressure, has support from Alpha at the back of the site, but KC will pick up the pace and then slow right back down. Let you get in your own head. I'm also just looking at where Tomasi still is.
Yeah, Boaster, good paranoia there. Trying to buy a little bit of time. Shin's on the way, though. And Boaster's position is running short. He can't stick around here too long. He's going to have to call in Alpha, which he is doing. But Narrate, Durka with the drive-by. That removes a little bit of the problem, right? So they can hit those rotations, but they aren't. They're still sticking where they are. This is so much faith in Alpha and Boaster. This is a lot on the plate. There's bodies everywhere. Boaster going to bail him out with another. That's brilliant. Oh, and again, lovely work from Boaster. That is precise work from Fnatic and a reminder of who they are.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised he was able to stay up there as long as he was, but it seemed like KC maybe a little bit more tentative in this round as to whether or not they force him. I think they were also just giving time for Narrate, because although he doesn't win that duel, it is still a little bit scary that he was able to get there in the first place. And it took somebody wide swinging a player down towards spawn to actually clear him out of position. Even still, I don't know if Fnatic can let them have that much space. Like, you're talking about A heaven, B push all the way into spawn. Like, they get away with it this time, but I want to see a little bit more control.
Okay, let's keep an eye on that. I mean, Chronicle does look to be trying to maybe support towards Boaster a little bit closer this time, hoping to not get caught out.
Here. The jiggle jump flash. favorite.
Classic, yeah. They're not really put off by this by any means. They're still progressing up towards middle. That does look like a triddle right there. It's Brazil. Chronicle. Oh!
See ya. He couldn't even get the flash out in time before Narrate's already taken his head off.
This feels like bullying. I'm about to call in the bully hunters at this point. This feels unfair to Chronicle. He's just been manhandled every round. And it's going to be Boaster and again Alpha. Though those two were exceptional last time, but how many times can we ask them to do this? And it looks like KC have got the space this time again. But Boaster, again, trying to defend with his life. It's still Alpha here, so they've got so much more to do. 40 seconds, they're still eyeing up this B site. The cavalry's on the way. Leo's coming over. Dirk is coming over. And KC don't have the same amount of room.
The only scary thing is if they can actually
30 seconds
two-man push into Alpha. They've done just that. Leo with the trade.
Great trade back, though, from Tomasi. Not letting it slip away from the 1v2 for Durka here. Not gonna happen. Shin prowling around, finding him. KC, they are individually, bit by bit, breaking apart Fnatic.
Yeah, I think Fnatic kind of hoped that that smoke would fade. They'd have timing to play in a bit more of a crossfire, but they just don't allow it. And that's the thing. It wasn't even the swing coming out from Tomasi. It was just a raw fight taken by Narrate. He just feels confident in his ability and has a decent idea of where Alpha's going to be because it was exactly the same as the round before.
And it just feels unthinkable that they've been able to do this time and time again. Alpha's one of the best on this. In any of these scenarios, Alpha is so good. And again, they've gone for a gamble play here, Fnatic. Maybe feeling that, oh, they're surely going to switch up and hit an A piece now. Surely, with everything they've got, this would make sense. You know, they've got X ults, they've got this going for them. No. They've done a very similar look here. Again, a little bit of an early look towards B, force the rotations back, almost back to this default for Fnatic. The adjustments Boaster. That Judge has got to deliver here. No look towards Chronicle, so they know that something's different. They know that something has changed. And you can see the response. Yep, there it is, red alert. They can't walk into that lightly, and they don't. They force him away as far as possible. Narrate's looking for Alpha. That's what he wants. Can he spot him out in time? Oh, Alpha, that's so audacious to try and go for that, but he knew his life was numbered. His time was dwindling. Boaster can't hit a barn door with it. Desperate to try and find a connection, but still, look who's still lingering around. There's still players up here. Shin's still up here.
Ooh.
Gets cleared out by Durka. That's the difference. Finally, they have a step forward.
Still with the chance in this round.
Absolutely.
They've got the heals available if they need it, but right now everybody on
30
Fnatic is healthy.
left.
It's Narrate who's low.
Trying to get that plant down. Chronicle! He's had enough of being pushed around this map. He wants in, and he gets it. That is classic Chronicle there. Lovely work for the man who's not really found his footing until then.
No, a lot of this has seemingly been a lot about those individual fights, though. As said, like, I think at least what it feels like is KC are using these smokes to make things scrappy, and then Fnatic are having to almost go down to their level. It's something we talk about with a lot of top teams. Sometimes they get dragged into positions where they have to almost box their way out. Looking like Fnatic might try and take a little bit more initiative in this round, though. And the only thing is they always seem to do it when their opponents are low on cash.
God, and there's the hero rifle again. It'll be fine. It'll be fine this time. Right? Straight up through heaven again. They love this mid-pressure, KC. Durka, this angle can be quite deadly. Not going to get what he wants from it, though. Going to have to rescind away full. And they forced him a little deeper. They're losing some of that control towards middle. Again, keep your mind towards Narrate here. Everyone else is on classics. They're trying to cause a little bit of an issue. And actually, Durka's in a lot of danger. They're trying to close down towards him. Boaster on the bailout, though, going to keep him safe. Chronicle comes online, and now it's just down the Shin. Only for a second. Well handled again. The tempo coming out from KC is very cold, and then suddenly it's blisteringly hot.
Yeah, the thing is, though, I think actually it's been Boaster a lot of the time who's been able to quell this onto a flyer individually. Tomasi as well, like, I think was 5-0, slowed down a little bit for some of those early rounds, and we're starting to see them go for the same sort of play again. A lot of it has been this sort of mid-crunch in towards the B side, and I think Fnatic are starting to do well. Okay, we'll take some B main control because there's only been Tomasi there for the majority of rounds, and it does look like, even without some sort of pause, they've realized what their opponents are doing and adapting.
And to be fair, if we're going to be talking very clearly about this and not really pulling punches, you expect that from someone like Fnatic.
Yeah.
They are a championship-winning level team. They should be able to adjust on the fly. So we are starting to see that come into effect, which is hopefully going to bolster their scoreboard numbers. It's 3-3 still. Durka trying to make the most of the utility in mid by isolating one of the players, but they've already drifted ahead. Now, this camera has been the downfall of many. And yeah, you can see the response. Chronicle, ready. Camera goes, so they've got to be a bit more careful now, but they know there's presence here.
Yeah, the aggression in B main, it's a little bit late though. Like the rest of the rotation will take a while. Boaster can use from the shadows to get in time, but it looks like they may just try and do some damage and play retake.
Yeah, they've got one on the site. Spike's not one of them on the site though. Keep that in mind. They've forced Fnatic back towards CT. Spike's about to cross and go down. As it stands, they have a 5v3 on the site, so they're being very, very careful to not fall prior to this. Magnum's position could work well with Tomasi. Chronicle trying to clear. And this is the retake starting from heaven. This is scary times. Martin trying to get all the attention, but it's actually Tomasi to fall. Durka gonna prime out of the position. Magnum now swings, and he takes down Chronicle. The timing on this is not good at all. But Shin on the trade. Narrate's gone undetected. Still standing, takes down Durka. It's messy as hell, but it's still a problem. Shin and Martin, where are they in this? Leo trying to get closer. It's Shin on the site itself. Look at him tucked in the corner to Martin. It's a 1! He's still doing damage, but look at the HP here, Boaster. Surely he's got enough for this one. Martin's creeping closer. The timing, I don't think he's got any more time! Martin goes down with the ship and gets KC another round.
He was 1 HP for the majority of those fights. Just being able to, again, just cause issues by staying alive for a ridiculous amount of time. And I don't know if I've ever seen anybody jump down from the top rope and use a Nightfall at the same moment. Also, that one kill from Magnum, that takes away the Rolling Thunder.
That's true.
That removed the entire plan from Fnatic. It was one kill, Rolling Thunder going together, and he gets that kill, and okay, the Nightfall was manic, but he'd already done enough for his team to basically ruin the setup of Fnatic.
Okay. That's the first time we've seen them test that A side as well, because, again, if you roll your mind back to every time we've seen kind of Fnatic on this sort of map, that camera just gives them so much more freedom. Divide gonna go through. To see if they're up to anything here.
Cover going out.
Boaster. Gonna note this. Paranoia's perfect. He's got to fall away here. Try and send one back. Maybe tee up Durka instead. Set that second layer into... Oh my god, Narrate. Oh, this guy's an animal. Gonna find a second. The site's theirs. And, oh, they're so clean, Tom. They're so goddamn clean with it. It's Alpha in a 1v5. The spike's already down. He might as well just go back towards A. What are you meant to do?
It's absolutely ridiculous. Give Eng 3 duelists, he'll win you a tournament. That's what it seems like at this point. He's done it with Gambit, and I don't know what miracles he's pulled off to get players like Tomasi ready for the smoke roll. Martin and Narrate on this double duelist is just fearsome. What can Alpha even do here? Is there even any point?
Ace. I think he's just trying to drift away. I mean, the money, maybe they could do a bit of damage to it, but even then, you're clutching at straws, really. Should be fine here. Carmine Core. Now, start of the year, start of the season. Don't think I saw this one happening. I'd imagine the production would have got the UI wrong, if anything, but hey, producer Kevin is absolutely perfect these days. We don't question old Kev. He's on the money. Now, someone who's not on the money this time around is Fnatic. Their buy is uncomfy. They've got a couple of, well, they've still got Chronicles ult, that's still been sticking around, but they just haven't had opportunity to use it. It feels like Carmine Core have been almost...
What is Narrate about to do?
I don't know. I'm a bit nervous because I've just seen this whole look. But again, look at the other side as well. Durka's just flown down middle. They know this is going to be an A-piece. Like, there's no subtlety to this. He's just TP'd. He's just pushed away Alpha, essentially.
I think he's trying to just give the info over to the showstopper. That's literally the goal. Oh, and a nice attempt from Leo, but it's nothing.
Oh, KC have they've just won the site. They've just won the site. Any sort of problems are done for. If I'm Fnatic, I'm calling a timeout after this one. They are being pushed around here. Carmine Core, yeah, it's a bit messier. It's not as clean, but they've absolutely got him dead to rights. Boaster, yeah. Gonna get a little bit of a one on the way out, but Durka, a 1v2. And look at these post-plant positions. Really nice readjust. Not making it comfortable at all. No fair fight for Durka to have. Look at it.
He knows where they're gonna be.
Yeah.
But the fact is they're wrapping around from another angle as well while the time is being bought. He's screwed.
There's the shoulder check.
Things in my
Someone needs to check on this. There it is. And there's the... Oh, Durka, you're still an animal on your aim, but it doesn't matter. The round is Carmine Corps. Again, they have answers for absolutely everything. We've seen them almost overhit that B site, right? They were bullish in their approach. They were like, we are hitting B, and Fnatic have hit the brakes because KC have been stringing together rounds now. They're getting into it.
The original plan is to showstopper him. And instead, Martin goes, you know what, I can have this one myself.
I can do it.
I think he actually gets hit by his own teammate Showstopper because he killed the guy before he did it. It's just, I feel like these two players especially...
It's not had much play here. And it looks like they've explored that A site. Sure, they've kind of pressured that. They're going back towards B. Back once again. Let's see if they can handle it this time. Massey creeping closer this time. He has to fall back.
They've already spotted the setup, though. That's the thing. A lot of what Fnatic were doing just moments ago was taking that B main control. And KC, I don't even know if they plan to go towards the B side. It doesn't look like it. Their whole plan is just to force Fnatic back, remove their information, and pressure elsewhere.
Bomb buddy out.
I'm looking at the positions. I'm looking at that spike. It was drifting up towards the vents, but they've opted against it here. Minute still to play with. No ults for KC. On the other side, Alpha's got his and Chronicle, of course, still with that. But they've kept the 3 players towards A, so maybe feeling like it is time to drift back through towards that B site. But breaking Alpha here is not easy.
Look how far forward the Fnatic players are on A. I think they still firmly believe it's going to be on this side of the map. They are nowhere near a rotation. They're only just using the Tiger. Now they'll have the info, but it might be too little too late.
Now let's see if they can weather the storm. No, there's no
gorgeous.
way. Boaster is dead to rights. He can't play his way out of that one. And Alpha's on an island. Maybe Chronicle's ult could help. Great work towards the first. Can't swing the second, though. KC have bodies, and they've still got this lovely positioning in heaven. Shin's still here. Is holding this safe. Those long road rotations are not going to do enough here. Leo would have to clear out, try and find this player who's drifting in middle. He'd have to do so much, and he knows that's just not happening. It's time to save.
No, they've had him almost out of the game. That's been the insane thing so far. Like, you can see the way that Fnatic was setting up. They fully believed this was going to be an A take.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, I think a lot of it comes down to Martin, because we saw a round ago, he started throwing in fakes onto the A site and would just TP to the other side of the map. He's with the team when they execute. Yeah. And it just leaves that Fnatic are almost left in doubt of like, well, he could still be here, so we have to use utility. I have to stay here while you use the utility to cover you. And in the meantime, they're like, right, guys, execute. And there's, well, you saw what happened to Boaster. Blinded completely, and just a blast back up. Like, yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah, there's no getting away from that. And I don't even want to put it on Boaster, for example. You can't escape that. That was targeted. Look at him. There's no way out. They've seen that position. They've been learning as they go. And they've absolutely executed. It's just perfection. I'm waiting to see if we see even a back-to-back timeout from Fnatic potentially coming in at some point. I mean, they are struggling here. If they don't find a solution, they are watching Madrid slip through their fingertips. For a team that is meant to be championship level, grand finalists, you know, you're talking the heavy hitters. Missing Madrid is unforgivable.
Same again. Boaster wanting to try and challenge for control. And it's actually more imperative in this round, because look at the buy. It's not pretty.
Oh, great attempt on the Paranoid to slow this down. He is under so much scrutiny here. He's trying to get out of danger. Does he get to live? Does he get to keep his life? He does off the back of Leo here. That's fantastic. The boys are playing together this time. Fnatic has 4-5 basically playing on this one. Leaving Alpha alone at A, just saying, just stack the bodies. Keep them all here. We need numbers. And it's worked for now. Magnum and Shin, though. Can they make this costly? Can they do any more damage to them? What can they do about this?
Mostly they've been the backbone. You'll look at these two players, especially Shin. I think he's like 4-on-4 or something right now, because his only impact has really been in post-plants. Using his utility well, doesn't need to get those kills, just staying alive. Now they are going to have an opening on that A side. Now, of course, the cam is here. Alpha's going to be able to spot this, but for Fnatic, you're not taking any gambles at this stage. You're down in the map by a considerable margin, and you're in a 5v2. You have no reason to try and play this individually, and he already has the info that they're on that side of the map.
I think I might have preferred someone sitting a little closer here, just to keep space so you don't get someone trying to slip ahead. Because again, if you're Carmine Core, you're looking for a pick, right? You're looking for anyone here. You know, you're trying to get that. That's why I'd have liked maybe to have one player a bit closer near to this, but that's fine. They have got all the information, right? look how much they're investing for this one. Shin, they've got to work in perfect unison. Magnum and Shin have to be a single player near on at this point. Fnatic are being loud. Oh my god, Shin. Oh my god, he almost caught Boaster. It's a 1v2 and it's very much doable, but look at the bullets. He's only got 14 left to play with. Already on the spike, Boaster gonna get it started. Takes some damage! He takes down Boaster! 5 bullets! That's all he's got! And he's got a 1v1 up against Alpha! Another tap! But Alpha goes back to it! It's close, but they've got it! Fnatic barely making it out of that. That was a 5v2?
Yep.
5v2.
Yep.
5v2.
Yeah.
And it was down to Alpha.
I guess Shin was just really playing that passive role because the second he was given an opportunity, it took the gall of basically Alpha just sitting in a smoke and hoping that he peeked. Like, if he doesn't peek there, he's won the round off time alone. It's the right decision, but that's disgusting as well. When you have 14 bullets, you can't spam, so he had to get it bang on. That's not the sort of round you expect to see, but I guess for Fnatic at this stage, they're on the board. They're getting something.
This is nerve-wracking time now.
They did this last time. It's the same execute. They have that cosmic divide, then they throw in the fake. Everything, they did the exact same thing last time, and then he TPs back to the other side of the map.
Great Seekers though, really nice. This should keep at least Leo nearby, but that's another individual. Narrate's already on the site. He's been caught by the Seeker, but he's drawing out the attention. They know Leo's on the site. It was a sacrificial play near on, but Durka and Leo, a reminder, a stark reminder of who they are. Because, do you know what, in the last couple of rounds, you'd be forgiven for forgetting because this has not been traditional Fnatic. This has been a shaky look from them. And KC have looked the better team on that half.
Honestly, I think if it wasn't for Boaster and his ability to delay and actually have some high-impact frags, I think we're looking at a 9-3, 10-2 maybe. Like, he has had some big rounds in this. And that's the thing. They fell for that hook, line, and sinker. They were all running in the other direction, and Boaster stuck around and just about did enough for the rotation to come in.
Yeah, I liked the investment of the Seekers. I mean, it had to be there anyway, but it is nice to kind of add that just safety net of, right, but they are here. We can commit to this. But again, it did feel like Fnatic were never on the right side. They were never comfortable in those positions. We go in on the second half. Carmine Core are leading 7-5. One map to the good. They face Fnatic. A bit of contact.
No.
Don't try. That was... You did a little bit of chip damage. You got all ahead of yourself. You got all excited. Boaster, are you chasing this? This is really dangerous. Fnatic
seized.
What are they doing? Fnatic needs to be so careful here. Magnum didn't know the damage he's done. Maybe just trying to keep his life, not, you know, overextend a little. But Fnatic were ferocious in that, just almost overly hunting them down.
And Narrate has to back off. Only middle control currently available for Fnatic. I was going to say at the beginning, this is kind of where you expect Durka to step up. This is where the utility is centered around him taking control. He's dead within the early seconds again, somewhat to a mistake. Just reloading while peeking an angle. It's not something you expect to see. And KC have been there to capitalize every single time. Look at the positions they're currently holding. You have 2 players within A, the rest basically in spawn. They're very happy to give up that B site. And again, similarly to the last map, they are willing to play the retake more often than not.
30 seconds left.
Slowly and cautiously. They are down to 20 seconds here, and they got still a lot of site to clear. A bit worrying. Shin not really deterred yet. 15 seconds, spike on the way. Now there's a problem because Shin's still on the back line and he hasn't been right out of place. Luckily, Chronicle is nuts at this game, so he should be able to get him a plant. Leo gonna catch anyone trying to look towards heaven.
They're pushing.
Magnum's close. Oh my god, Magnum is right on them! And that is not a plant! That's not a plant for Leo! He can't do anything! There's nothing to be done here. He just has to sit back and watch as the defuse comes in right under his nose. He's just had to sit there and watch KC pick up the first in the second half.
This is what they do. Again, I feel like Fnatic sat there and went, okay, well, they're at least going to give us a little bit of respect. They're not just going to go sprinting straight through onto the site. The insta-kill from Magnum on the player who's actually not planting, it's just ridiculous. And you see Boaster doesn't even have time to react.
No.
And because of that, Leo is so far away. It now means that KC, they get themselves the pistol under their belt again. And while for Fnatic, you kind of hoping one of those heroes sort of arises and gives them something here, because KC are looking like the confident ones.
Someone pull on the cape. Someone get going. It's not going to be Leo this round. You're not going to get much more than that. Nope, Martin trying to heat up here. Oh, yeah, beautiful. Beautiful.
I'll fall back now.
He's like, I've done enough. I need to. But again, even seeing them keeping composure at these points, not overheating too badly.
Yeah.
You know, again, you want them confident, you want them taking challenges, taking those fights like they are favored, but you don't want them going too far. You don't want to see a rifle fall to the other hands, right? Those rounds have to be clean. My God, it is squeaky clean from Martin there. Wow.
An ace and a Luthia flawless. It doesn't get much better than that. And you have to look at this now as what were the team's expectations? I've spoken to Eng, Zeish. They said we just want to play as many matches as possible. Don't care what the results are. We want to learn. Fnatic in interviews have gone, our goal is to win all 3 internationals. You might not even get to one unless something changes rapidly. And right now, we're always going to talk about this. Like, okay, now Fnatic will come back. Now Fnatic will come back. I think it's to the point where we almost have to say KC have been by far the better team in this match so far.
No, they have. I don't think that's, you know, look, everyone does like saying that I am wildly biased to Fnatic, but every time I just cast Fnatic, they win. It's very hard to not just call it how it is. But this is so much credit to KC in my mind. Seeing them come into this, watching them throughout this season, as it's showing everything. They've played so many games.
Yep.
Right there.
So there's nothing hidden, right? Yeah, you can reinvent a little bit, but again, you're playing so close to those previous games. They're still coming back in with new looks. They're still operating at such a high level. For Fnatic to fall to it feels almost unthinkable, unforgivable. But Fnatic not out yet. But that judge could be an issue. Yeah, Narrate has to show his hand there. Couldn't have been handled by Magnum, so that kind of shuts the door a little on Heaven for now.
Even still, you look at the positioning on the other side of the map. Martin watching, the jiggle coming out from Tomasi as well. They are prepared for this sort of push. It's what Martin can get is the main thing. And if Narrate can get there in time.
Good flash, and Narrate absolutely good, but he couldn't quite make it work. Martin still with the trade out, and they keep that vent pressure safe. It gives him time to look towards ramp. This is an isolated fight. Fortunately for Fnatic, Alpha is wild. He deals with Martin and gives them a chance towards the side, but have they checked on Tomasi? No, now they know, but can he do any more? He's surrounded, he's got problems up top, but they've got 10 seconds. Fnatic are running short on time here. They've got to get a move on, and Magnum wants to stop him. 8 seconds, where's the plan? It's fallen back into the hands of Chronicle. He has to get this down, and they're closing the gap. Chronicle, this has to be everything! What a bailout! He needs another! Oh, he's gonna get another! Chronicle, reminding you why he is the backbone, the safe pair of hands, the rock of Fnatic.
I don't even feel like Casey did anything wrong there.
No.
Like normally you talk about a double peek, but they put the pulse, the stun on top of his head. You go, okay, well he's only got one chance to shoot me, but that's Chronicle. You give him one chance, he takes it. A lifeline. That cape flowing behind him, that's for sure.
It's my haircut, boy, bro. Let's go.
Ain't out of the woods just yet, though. They need more. They gotta keep finding this. Martin's going hunting. He's after you, Alpha. Run,
What?
boy, run. The paranoia was
That's
from so far away. That was targeted. That was an assassination right there.
If we don't have a cam of Alpha being absolutely fuming after this, I'll be very, very surprised. Like, that is a ridiculous set play. Like, you never expect him. That in their heads, that's probably, oh, that's an information play. They're looking to see if we're there. They never expected him to just come out of the dimensional drift and boom, Alpha here.
Oh. Okay, one away from ult for Chronicle here, so if he could get that this round, could make up for the player, right? Maybe? I don't know. This is tense times. Fnatic looking to commit towards the safe side. Smoke just being committed as well, so eyes towards Heaven. Do they win the fight? Already, you can see the adjustment. Alright, trying to thread the needle just right. Chronicle has the ult ready. Spamming towards CT, looking to isolate Narrate on the site. This is going to be very difficult to hold on to for Narrate. Same to be said for Tomasi.
Off your feet!
There it is, he knows this is coming his way. Can he do anything about it though? No, Durka is quick to task. He knows his job, and he's got the follow-up. Fantastic from him. Plant should be in, don't think that's gonna be denied. No, and the lurk from post to there, just that late presence on ramp. Just the icing on the cake.
No, these are the sort of rounds you sort of expect to see from
Yeah.
Fnatic. Like having
Drilled.
that setup into play for Durka, you give him all of that, he's going to hit the shot. He always does. And this time, like, I was maybe a little bit worried. Like the nade timing from Narrate was fantastic. Like they definitely had an idea that this was coming. It maybe just needed Tomasi to spam and hope that he would get something, but didn't work out for them this time. Fnatic breaking back with a relatively clean round, and yeah, this was such a cool little set play. And that is the thing. This is where you can see that this young squad, they put the work in. Like, it's not like this team is formed, they've been chilling, it doesn't matter, we don't care how we do. Like, they've been learning as they go, and we've always said this when it comes to, especially Yoru comps. Sometimes, the first time, you catch someone off guard. The second time, well, for them, it went pretty horrifically. They lost 13-4 to Team Heretics. Now, it looks like they've reimagined the same composition again.
Yeah, this is very impressive to witness, but again, we are now seeing 2 rounds back-to-back for Fnatic here. They're starting to find their footing, at least in this half. It did take a little bit more work there. You know, Chronicles ult certainly setting that into motion.
Is that the most they've got in a row? It is. It definitely is. We can see it on the screen, but that's actually ridiculous to think
silly,
about.
Doesn't it? To keep it up, though. Can't just be a flash in the pan. I kind of thought that was going to be it for KC, you know what I mean? Just that little, you know, high tempo, little dangerous individuals. No, they are very much the real deal. But into this round, you're looking at Narrate, you're looking at Martin. The rifles, right? That's the punchline of this joke.
Look how far back Fnatic are. Like, genuinely look at where the players outside of that B site are. They are still sat so far back, just waiting for KC to do something, because that's what they have been doing. And the fact is, Martin did make a move.
Yeah, I kind of like that they almost tried to bait that it was Narrate there, but there was still going to be Martin close. Oh my god! Look at the damage. Look at Durka.
That boombot saved his life.
Yeah, literally saved his life. Fortunately for him, he can get a heal. Leo's going to invest that, but again, this is look at this hunting squad. They're sending out after Alpha. He's going to be feeling so uncomfortable. He felt the timing just right, though. Credit to Alpha for that internal clock, right? Feeling out that there was something going on here, didn't like it. And the response from Fnatic is a slow creep towards B, trying to avoid those rifles, trying to keep them as far away as possible.
There.
Maybe the right choice here, but is it the right timing?
Left.
So Massey's going to check this. It is when Durka's on the money, but they know now. The plan's been seen. The players are nearby. Carmine Core looking to get dangerous. Narrate's going to find Durka. Here we go. How much more? Martin comes online. Magnum gets a rifle. Boaster and Leo, 13 seconds. Spike is going to go down. But Boaster needs to go big here. So does Leo. KC closing the gap! It's going to be on Leo. A 1v3. This is just unthinkable again. Shin finds it. Carmine Core are absolutely the real deal. That's double digits. This is map 2. And Fnatic are watching round by round Madrid get further away.
It truly is enjoyable just watching this pack mentality. They swing together, trade together, push together, and all around the map, it's almost like they're herding sheep. Like, Fnatic are forced where they want them to go.
They play such good core Valorant, right? I know that sounds so silly at this level, but the fact that it works against Fnatic is great, right? But they're playing better together. They've got better concepts, better comps. They've got individually. That feels obscene to say. It feels wrong to say. Martin, Nari have been nuts. Shin's been hitting as well this time. This has been genuinely an unfathomable game so far. But you get to witness history very few times, and this might be one of them. Let's see, though. We're not there yet. The line has not been drawn. Madrid is still on the cards if Fnatic can close. Martin going to feel that first pressure and falls away.
Yeah, the thing is that was a rotate to the other side of the map. That was where they gambled initially. And now you're going to see that Showstopper popped early. They're looking for an early fight, but there's no one. They're all the way in spawn at the moment. It does just seem like KC is reading the auto queue of the other side. They know where the script is going.
They're so close by to this. So many eyes and ears listening and watching what Fnatic are doing here. Yeah, they'll get the plant, but it's going to be a 5v5 possible retake, and that is... I mean, maybe echoes of Lotus a little bit here. Divide going to come in. Is there something up the sleeve? Paranoia sent. And Narrate the first one in. Feeling brave. He's going to spot them out, but Dirk is going to send Magnum away. Martin, great work from Chronicle on the back lines, but it is down to Shin now. 1v3, that's a lot to ask. And a lot of utility now put exactly towards him. And Chronicle, he's just going to be the bodyguard. If he has to stand there himself and stop him at the door, he will do. Yeah, he's done. Shin's off. They've done it. Fnatic again string together another off the back of the timeout. They had a plan. They executed it well.
Yeah, I think it's one of the first times they haven't run into some sort of trap. Like there was no one on the B site. They managed to isolate it. They managed to take the space with that showstopper as well. Like we talk about like Rosa ults, all the memes of not getting a kill, but ultimately that was the goal. Get into the site, get into the after plant, and KC definitely seemed like they had an idea, but to give Fnatic, these sort of opportunities, eventually we're going to see them step up.
I mean, again, how many times are we seeing Chronicle doing, you know, again, he's on what, like 12 to 12? It's not exactly like that highlight scoreline, but the value he is providing in some of these is exceptional. So you got to really give credit where it's due there. Now, money's still standing for both sides. You know, it's starting to wane a little for KC. You're going to see that judge coming out. I mean, maybe not the end of the world here, but Boaster.
Okay. It's
a massive shot on Tomasi. Again, Boaster's been a bit of an unsung hero for this side in certain moments, but it's not just one side of aggression, and I think Fnatic have noticed that.
Yeah, they got all the info off the Haunt, and Tomasi trying to make a play off the back of it, this time shutting it down. And there was a push initially from Martin, but I just think he was too far behind. He would have had to run, sprint through mid, and knowing that there's 5 players on the other side, the value not really there. This is going to be huge, because this will actually ping that there's only one player on the B side. Fnatic instantly, okay, let's take this on.
Oh, he's going to invest the ult, he's trying it. Magnum, how much can one man do here? Yeah, look at this. Look at him trying to just dip, dodge and dive around all the bits of utility. It's great. Magnum, oh my god, he's threading the needle so perfectly. Finding Boaster, catching Chronicle. Durka, can you bail him out from heaven? No! Martin's there, and Leo obliterated. Carmine Core holding it together. You thought Magnum was meant to be this kind of teed up success story. He lived the entire round.
He completed a total wipeout course and then still got 2 kills at the end. Like, I've never seen anyone have to like jump over a nade. I think there was like just different utility flying all around him. Dodges a flash in the middle of it as well. I don't know how he manages to survive this round.
I mean, call him Harry Potter. That man is the boy who lived. I don't know how he is standing. Genuinely, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Did it without a scar as well.
Oh my word.
Some heroes in there as well.
Sure. I mean, I only have one question really remaining. What color is it? At this point, at 11 to 8, Carmine Core leading Fnatic in map 2 after they claimed map 1. We go again. How much in the tank for Fnatic here? They depend upon any of these greats, these absolute heroes of who they are. Can one of them be the difference maker now? Boaster taking the trip to backside, gonna commit. But Carmine Core, they're not playing on site.
Oh, it's this retake again. Now, the success of it last time wasn't particularly great. They go in early though.
Yeah, and this time it's working exceptionally well. Martin, Nure gonna find a bit of success each. Boaster still breathing is gonna keep things maybe tilting Fnatic's way. They have a touch of safety on the site. The smoke up, they're gonna get the plant down. Now time's on their side. Tomasi, Shin, Martin, up against Alpha, Leo, and Boaster. Those names are so weighted towards one side. But what can these young guns do? Tomasi having a little look, trying to set these guys up.
Here.
Allow them to work forward. Time being taken, they swing and they find. Boaster's gone down, but there's still another towards the backside. That's going to be Leo. The problem is he can't take that isolated fight, and he's going to have to just face this. He has to try and get in there. Shin's not stopping. Shin is not stopping, and neither are Carmine Core. It's 11 for them. They are 1 round away from booking their ticket to Madrid to deny Fnatic a chance at the first international of the year.
I thought for sure the bait would be enough.
I
thought just leaving Leo in a corner at the backside, Boaster sacrificing himself, but they make it almost too easy to just clear him out. Martin with another triple, 21 and 10. We've spoken about these youngsters.
Like, just win out this round.
Just win out this round. Easier said than done. Easier said.
That's all you can focus on at this point, because they know it. You can feel it in the air. Something is wrong, and Martin, he's taken down Durka. Frag by frag, they are taking away the chances here. Booking themselves into the unthinkable. Everyone doubting them at the start of the season. They still have to finish They still have to get across the line. 4 more kills.
through.
1 minute and 14.
I'll handle this.
Can they live through it? Can they defend that long? Martin thinks so. He wants in. He's teeing him up. This is so much information. He sees everything. And look at Tomasi. Look at them closing in towards this. He's rejoined on the other side. It does leave space towards A. But now he waits. Does Fnatic go for this? You can see Chronicle curious. Alpha having a look. And they're playing for retakes if they have to every single time. They're sitting so deep.
The thing is, at this point, Magnum's push B main, so he knows they're not going through that angle. So now everybody actually starts rotating back over to the A side. It might be Shin firmly within it, but the rest of the players are not far away.
Does Shin get a freebie here? Did Fnatic still think there's someone on the site? Do they think they've completely
30
evacuated the
seconds
site? What do Fnatic read into this? They're hesitating. 25 seconds and the spike is not here. It's on the way, but Shin has not been checked on yet. He's still here. Under the cover of darkness, he gets to survive for another couple of seconds. Couldn't deal with Alpha. Site now starting to wave the Fnatic flag. The spike is down. Time's on their side. 4v4. Can they deal with this though? Leo trying to keep track on that lovely little smoke there towards CT. You're going to make it very difficult. And I think Carmine Core going to be questioning how do they approach this Heaven. The next opportunity. Tomasi's given him at least Boaster on a plate, but there's still 3 more. Leo, Alpha, and Chronicle to clear, and they will not make it easy. Leo will hold this line as best he can. Narrate going to try and skip forward, try and skip ahead. Time ticking. He's got 1 down. Oh, he's got a second. It's all on Leo. Oh, and he cannot do enough. Where were you when the unthinkable truly happened? Carmine Core are going to Madrid.
I'm sure there was a day